this is a story way back in 2005. Okay, so there was this Adirpalli waterfalls, and this cute little girl came to me and asked, like, "What's the role of a casting director?" My dad said that you are a casting director. I was surprised because I was not casting director, and even casting director was not much familiar to me as in what are the roles, what the roles are. So that little girl has grown up, made a few advertisement films, and now came up with Wonka. We have Kavya
ഞാനായിരുന്നു അത്.
Prakash.
നൈസ്.
So the thing is that you were so curious at that time, as in 2005, to know what a casting director do. At that time, I was not. I did not give a satisfactory answer to you. I'm sure, but that learning has, made you to a director. Now we talked about casting. And you have this complete movie waiting for the audience, or audience is waiting for the movie. Let's start with the casting.
സോ കാസ്റ്റിങ്ങിനെ പറ്റി സംസാരിച്ചാൽ ഇപ്പോൾ മെയിൻ 4 പെൺകുട്ടികളുടെ ആഗ്രഹങ്ങൾ ബേസ് ചെയ്തൊരു കഥയാണ് വാങ്ക്. അപ്പോൾ സോ ദീസ് 4 ഗേൾസ് ആർ വെരി യുണീക്ക് ആൻഡ് ഭയങ്കര ഇൻഡിവിജ്വൽ ആയ ക്യാരക്ടറിസ്റ്റിക്സ് ഉള്ള കുട്ടികളാണ് ഈ 4 പേരും. റസിയ പറഞ്ഞ ക്യാരക്ടർ ആണെങ്കിൽ who is the main lead also among these 4 girls. She is extremely intelligent, highly mature for her age. ഭയങ്കര സ്പിരിച്വൽ ആണ്, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അവളുടെ ഒരു പെർസ്പെക്റ്റീവ് തന്നെ ഭയങ്കര ഒരു യുണീക്ക് ആണ് ടു someone her age. അതുപോലെ we have a character like Nandana, who is just the opposite of her. Now Nandana is someone who is fiercely bold, ഭയങ്കര outgoing ആണ്, vibrant ആണ്. പുള്ളിക്കാരത്തിയാണ് NRI ആ ഒരു ഗ്രൂപ്പില്. So NRI ഒരു അറിയാലോ, they're a little more since they've been exposed to different cultures abroad, so she's a little more open minded and say അവരുടെ ഓരോരോ ആഗ്രഹങ്ങളുടെ seriousness, maybe she doesn't understand the complete extent to it completely, because for her these things are something which are very normal. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ഷമീന. Now Shamina is again someone who's like a typical teenager who's got that romance that's budding in, and she's going through that romantic phase, and you can she can, it's her first love and it's that pure innocent love. So that's something. Pinna Meenakshi ayalum. Now Meenakshi's character is Diba. Now Diba's character is also someone who is very unique among the 4 girls. She's a very jovial girl, very happy, very sweet, but at the same time very emotional. Korchururu, I think among all the ആഗ്രഹങ്ങൾ, hers is the little more bolder one. Casting പറഞ്ഞോ, when നമ്മളൊരു സ്ക്രിപ്റ്റിന്റെ ഫൈനൽ സ്റ്റേജസ് എത്തിയപ്പോ തന്നെ നമുക്ക് റസിയയുടെ ക്യാരക്ടറിൽ അനശ്വര തന്നെയായിരുന്നു മൈൻഡിൽ. സോ വി വർ വെരി പെർട്ടിക്കുലർ, ഉണ്ണി സാർ ആയാലും ഷബ്നം ആയാലും അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഞാനായാലും, ദാറ്റ് ഈ പുള്ളിക്കാരത്തി തന്നെ വേണം നമുക്ക് ഈ ഒരു ഹീറോയിന്റെ റോള് ചെയ്യാൻ. ബിക്കോസ് വെൻ ഐ സോ ഹർ പിക്ചർ ദാറ്റ് ഐ ന്യൂ ദാറ്റ് ഓക്കെ, ഇതാണ് എന്റെ റസിയ. So actually she came on board, പക്ഷെ I think because of some miscommunication that had happened, she then left the project, and then she had a lot of കുറെ dates, like date problem ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. She was tied up with a Tamil film and all of that. ആ ഒരു സമയത്താണ് ഞാൻ ബാംഗ്ലൂർ പോയിട്ട് തണ്ണീർമത്തൻ കാണുന്നത്. അപ്പൊ തണ്ണീർമത്തൻ കണ്ടു. ആ മൂവി കണ്ടിട്ട് എനിക്ക് കിട്ടിയത് എന്റെ 2 ക്യാരക്ടേഴ്സിനാണ്. ഐ വാസ് ഈവൻ മോർ കൺവിൻസ് ദാറ്റ് എനിക്ക് റസിയ, അനശ്വരനെയാണ് എന്റെ റസിയ, ആൻഡ് അതിൽ ഗോപിക രമേശ് കണ്ടു. ആൻഡ് അവിടെയാണ് എനിക്ക് മനസ്സിലായി ഈ കുട്ടിയാണ് എന്റെ ഷമീന. അപ്പൊ ഐ വാസ് ഈവൻ മോർ കൺവിൻസ്. ദ ഫസ്റ്റ് തിങ് ഞാൻ അന്ന് ആ തിയേറ്ററിൽ നിന്ന് പുറത്തു വന്ന് ഫസ്റ്റ് തിങ് ഞാൻ ചെയ്തത്, എന്റെ പ്രൊഡക്ഷൻ മാനേജറിനെ വിളിച്ചു. ഞാൻ ചോദിച്ചു എവിടെയാണ് അനശ്വര, ഐ ഹാവ് ടു കൺവിൻസ്. അപ്പോഴാണ് എന്തോ ഒരു സ്ട്രോക്ക് ഓഫ് ഫേറ്റ് വേണമെങ്കിൽ പറയാം, ഷീ വാസ് ഷൂട്ടിംഗ് ഇൻ ബാംഗ്ലൂർ. പറയുമ്പോൾ കോറമംഗലയിൽ തന്നെയായിരുന്നു ഷൂട്ട് ചെയ്യണ്ടായിരുന്നത്. ഭയങ്കര ഒരു യാദർശികമായിട്ടായിരുന്നു, അതൊരു കോയിൻസിഡൻസ്, ഡെസ്റ്റിനി വേണമെങ്കിൽ പറയാം, പ്ലേഡ് അവേ. സോ അങ്ങനെ പോയി ഞാൻ അവളെ മീറ്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് ഷി ഹാഡ് ഓഫ് കോഴ്സ് സർട്ടൻ കൺസേൺസ്, ഒരു ഇങ്ങനത്തെ ഒരു സബ്ജക്ട് ആയതുകൊണ്ട് ഷൈ ആൻസർഡ് ഓൾ ഹർ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് ആൻഡ് ഹർ ക്വയറീസ്. അതുപോലെ ഐ സ്പോക്ക് ടു ഹർ പേരൻസ്, ടോൾഡ് ഹർ ദ വിഷൻ ത്രൂ വിച്ച് ഷബ്നം, ഉണ്ണി സർ ആൻഡ് ഐ were planning to take forward the film, and she was also on board. പിന്നെ immediately after that what we did is, and ഇതിനു മുമ്പ് നമ്മൾ ആക്ച്വലി ആദ്യം കാസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്ത് നന്ദനേനായിരുന്നു. നന്ദനനെ നമ്മൾ മീറ്റ് ചെയ്തു, കണ്ടു. ഉണ്ണി സാറും ഞാനും ഷബ്നം 3 പേരുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. ഷി കെയിം ടു കൊച്ചി ടു മീറ്റ് us, കണ്ടു. അവളെ കണ്ടോടനെ എനിക്കും ലൈക്ക് വി ന്യൂ ദാറ്റ് ഷീ ഈസ് വൺ ഓഫ് ദ ക്യാരക്ടേഴ്സ്. സോ അങ്ങനെ നന്ദന വാസ് ഓൾസോ ഫിക്സ്. പിന്നെ there was another character called മീനാക്ഷി, ദീപയുടെ ക്യാരക്ടറിന് വേണ്ടി. സോ മീനാക്ഷിനെയും ഷി കെയിം ത്രൂ എ റെഫറൽ. സോ വി ഡിഡ് an audition, there were a bunch of people that we auditioned, and Meenakshi was the one who fit the bill. Now we needed to know who to place as which character. So what we did is, so in the mind, like Nandana's always played characters that are very meek and soft spoken and timid and shy. And Nandana പറഞ്ഞ അങ്ങനത്തെ ഒരു കുട്ടി തന്നെയാണ്. ഭയങ്കര അധികം സംസാരിക്കില്ല, ഭയങ്കര ടിമിഡും ഷായും ഭയങ്കര സ്വീറ്റ് അങ്ങനത്തെ ഒരു കുട്ടിയാണ്. അപ്പൊ everyone kept saying that, you know, she should be Shamina and നമ്മളുടെ ഗോപിക should be Jodi. But something in me was like, no, let's hold on. So what we did is നമ്മൾ ഒരു ആക്ടിംഗ് വർക്ക്ഷോപ്പ് കണ്ടക്ട് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു for the crew, just so that ഒരു icebreaker പോലെ, that, you know, we are friendly with them and they also ഒരു synergy match ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടി. So അത് ജയപ്രകാശ് കൊല്ലൂർ sir ആണ് വർക്ക്ഷോപ്പ് കണ്ടക്ട് ചെയ്തത്, and I was also there throughout the workshop. അപ്പൊ എന്റെ writer is also playing a very important role in the film. She plays the role of Razia's mother. ഉമ്മയുടെ role ആണ്. So the reason I casted her also was, as she started writing the character, right, of this film, I saw more of my writer in this character, in the character of Just Me. So that's when actually നമ്മൾ ആദ്യം റീമ ചേച്ചിനെയായിരുന്നു കാസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. But as the final stages scripting വന്നപ്പോൾ, I was more and more convinced that no, ഈ റോളിനെ ഏറ്റവും ജസ്റ്റിസ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്ന ശബ്നം തന്നെയായിരുന്നു. Also Shabnam is a trained classical dancer, so I knew that she would be able to perform. So that's the first thing we did, that, you know, we made sure that she's going to be the mom. Then for the father's role, we always had, so it was initially Vijay Babu sir who was supposed to play the role of the father. He's like family to me, he's like a mentor, and he's a very good friend as well. So I was very excited, looking forward to working with him. But what happened is, there was a small clash with the dates, because he was shooting for Trishur Puram. I mean, Trishur Puram was happening, and I think Jayatan had some small, I think, fracture that he happened. So he kind of got busy and involved with that. So then after Vijay Babu, so actually the person we always had in mind for this role was Vineet Etten. Now Vineet sir, someone who I've grown up watching his films and always known as a fabulous performer and fantastic, you know, charismatic character to portray him, we always knew. So that's when we had approached him and we pitched the movie to him, Shabnam and I, and he also really loved the subject, and he first asked for a synopsis of the story. And although he was a little apprehensive ആദ്യം, he's like, അയ്യോ ഇതൊരു കുറച്ചൊരു കോൺട്രവേഴ്ഷ്യൽ അല്ലേ, ശരി എന്തായാലും സ്ക്രിപ്റ്റ് അയക്കൂ, ഞാൻ വായിക്കട്ടെ നോക്കട്ടെ. So സിനോപ്സിസ് അയച്ചപ്പോൾ he was so excited. അന്ന് തന്നെ he called me back and he said, അയ്യോ ഞാൻ എക്സ്പെക്ട് ചെയ്ത മാതിരി അല്ല കേട്ടോ, ഇത് ഭയങ്കര ഒരു ബ്യൂട്ടിഫുൾ ആയ ഒരു സ്റ്റോറിയാണ്, എനിക്ക് ശരിക്കും ഇത് കാണണം, ഒന്ന് തന്നെ വന്ന് മീറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുമോ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു. അങ്ങനെ കൊച്ചി പോയി മീറ്റ് ചെയ്യണു, ശബ്നവും ഞാനും വിനീത് സാറിന് മീറ്റ് ചെയ്യണു. We explain him everything and he's also ഭയങ്കര thrilled and he comes on board the project as well. അത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ടാണ് നമ്മളുടെ ഒരു കുറച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ടാണ് നമ്മൾ ഷൂട്ടിന്റെ ഒരു 1 week മുന്നേ നമ്മൾ ഈ വർക്ക്ഷോപ്പ് തുടങ്ങുന്നത്. അതുവരെയും നമ്മുടെ ഈ 4 പെൺകുട്ടികളും ഹൂ ഇസ് പ്ലേയിങ് ഹൂ എന്ന് കൺവിൻസ് ആയിട്ടില്ല. ആകെ നമ്മൾ ഫിക്സ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്ന റസിയ ഇസ് ഗോയിങ് ടു ബി പ്ലേഡ് ബൈ അനശ്വര. അനശ്വര ഷൂട്ടിംഗ് ഫോർ എ തമിഴ് ഫിലിം, അപ്പൊ അവള് ഇതിനു വേണ്ടി വന്നിട്ടില്ല. ആൻഡ് ഈ 3 കുട്ടികളിനും അറിയില്ല ആരാണ് ഈ റസിയ പ്ലേ ചെയ്യാൻ പോണെന്ന്. So other Shabno Nyan kept it, you know, in suspense, just to ഒരു ക്യൂരിയോസിറ്റി ഫാക്ടർ ബിൽഡ് ചെയ്യാനോ അവരൊരു കുട്ടിത്തെ മേക്ക് ദം എൻജോയ് ദാറ്റ്, യു നോ, ഒരു സർപ്രൈസ് പോലെ വെക്കാന്ന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് അങ്ങനെ we hadn't told them. So after the first 3 days of the workshop, we all were convinced. So till then I was very sure that Nandana should play my Jodi the character, but no one was convinced. But after the workshop, I think even Shabnam was like, yeah, you're right, definitely it is Nandana itself has to be our Jodi and Gobika is our Shamina. So angana the roles were fixed, and then we finally after that, and then we brought in even Saqib at that time. Now Saqib was someone who came for another role. Just seeing him perform in the workshop, I like Shabnam and I both felt that no, he is supposed to be another role, which he went on to play another role, Saqib Abdullah. And then Anganana we went on to shoot after that. And shoot in the Aditya Dosana, literally half an hour before the pujas, when Anashara joined the set, and that's when all the girls found out that, you know, Anashara is going to be playing Razia, and they were all excited, and it was very nice.
And now I have a reason why I have this question, even though I was relating to you know, your question about what is casting director going to do. Why? Because here the content is the king, as in your story also.
Yes.
Like the content is the king. So how was that evolved? Like how was Unni or you know, because you have been a good reader is what I came to know as an you know, during your school days. So
yes,
our concept, okay, it should be written by or you had taken Unni's story. So how that evolved to be like.
Okay, so ഇതിന്റെ actual full credit actually കൊടുക്കേണ്ടത് ഉണ്ണിയാർ സാറിന് തന്നെയാണ്. So I think Unniyar sirne ഞാൻ ആദ്യം പരിചയപ്പെടുമ്പോൾ I had just started directing ad films. I think I had just about directed around 3 to 4 ad films. So ആ ഒരു സമയത്തായിരുന്നു. And yeah, so Unniyar sir was supposed to do a film with Achan. So which is why Unniyar sir had come to Bangalore and had come to meet Achan. So ആ ഒരു സമയത്തായിരുന്നു എൻ്റെ ഒരു ആഡിന്റെ പോസ്റ്റ് പ്രൊഡക്ഷൻ നടക്കണ്ടായിരുന്നു. അപ്പോൾ I had gone to office അതിനു വേണ്ടി. സോ അങ്ങനെ ഓഫീസിൽ പോയപ്പോഴാണ് ഞാൻ ഉണ്ണിയാർ സാറിനെ പരിചയപ്പെടുന്നത്. ബിക്കോസ് ഐ ഹവ് ഓൾവേസ് നോൺ ഉണ്ണിയാർ സർ ടു ബി എ വെൽ നോൺ റൈറ്റർ ആൻഡ് ഐ എം എ ബിഗ് ഫാൻ ഓഫ് ഹിസ് വർക്ക്. ഇപ്പൊ വെദർ ഇറ്റ് വാസ് ചാർലി ആയാലും അല്ലെങ്കിൽ പ്രദീപ് വങ്കോഴി ആയാലും ഐ എം എ ഹ്യൂജ് ഫാൻ ഓഫ് ഹിസ് വർക്ക്. ആൻഡ് ആസ് യു മെൻഷൻ ഐ എം എ വിഡ് റീഡർ. സോ എനിക്ക് വായിക്കാൻ ഭയങ്കര താല്പര്യമുള്ള ഒരു കാര്യമാണ്. പണ്ടും അങ്ങനെയായിരുന്നു, ഇപ്പോഴും അങ്ങനെയാണ് റീഡിങ്. ആൻഡ് ഞാനൊരു പൊതുമേ ഒരു ലിറ്ററേച്ചർ സ്റ്റുഡന്റ് കൂടെ ആയിരുന്നു. സോ കോളേജിൽ 1 year ഓൾമോസ്റ്റ് ഞാൻ ലിറ്ററേച്ചർ ചെയ്തിട്ടാണ് ഞാൻ പിന്നെ അത് വിട്ടിട്ട് ഫിലിം മേക്കിംഗ് പഠിക്കാൻ പിന്നെയും വന്നത്. സോ ലിറ്ററേച്ചർ ഇസ് ഓൾവേസ് ഓൾസോ പിന്നെ ഭയങ്കര പാഷനറ്റ് ആൻഡ് ഭയങ്കര ഒരു ഫേവറേറ്റ് സബ്ജക്റ്റ് ആണ്. ഷേക്സ്പിയറിയൻ സബ്ജക്ട്സ് ഒക്കെ എനിക്ക് ഭയങ്കര ഒരു ത്രില്ലിങ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ എൻജോയ് ചെയ്ത് വായിക്കുന്ന ഒരാളാണ് ഞാൻ. Like I remember നമുക്ക് ഇങ്ങനെ ലിറ്ററേച്ചർ എക്സാംസ് ഒക്കെ ഉള്ളുമ്പോൾ everyone used to hate spending hours in the library, but എനിക്ക് പറഞ്ഞാൽ it was like my haven. I used to enjoy it. ഇപ്പോൾ ചിലപ്പോൾ സാറ്റർഡേസ് കോളേജ് ഇല്ലാത്ത സമയത്ത് കൂടെ I used to go and വെറുതെ sit in the library just to read. Like ജെയിൻ ഓസ്റ്റൻ ഒക്കെ എൻ്റെ one of my favorite writers ആണ്. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ഓൾ ക്ലാസിക് റൈറ്റേഴ്സ്, ഷേക്സ്പിയർ ആയാലും വില്യം ബ്ലേക്ക് ആയാലും എൻ്റെ ഭയങ്കര ക്ലാസിക്സ് have always something that has caught my interest. So ആ ഒരു സമയത്താണ് ലൈക്ക് ദാറ്റ് then when I had met ഉണ്ണിയാർ സർ. ആൻഡ് സോ ഉണ്ണിയാർ സർ ഭയങ്കര ഒരു കാരിസ്മാറ്റിക് ആയ ഒരു ഇൻഡിവിജ്വൽ ആണ്, ഭയങ്കര എനർജറ്റിക് ആണ്. ആൻഡ് ഐ എം ഓൾസോ ക്വൈറ്റ് എ ചാറ്റർ ബഗ്. സോ വി ജസ്റ്റ് ഹാപ്പൻ ടു ഹാവ് റാൻഡം കോൺവെർസേഷൻസ്. അപ്പൊ ആ ഒരു സമയത്താണ് ഉണ്ണിയാർ സർ ഓരോരോ കഥകൾ വെറുതെ എൻ്റെ അടുത്ത് പറഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ടിരുന്നു. വെറുതെ ഐ വാസ് ലൈക്ക് സർ എനിക്ക് സാറിന്റെ ഭയങ്കര ഫാനാണ്. അങ്ങനെ ഓരോരോ കഥകൾ പറഞ്ഞു. ആ ഒരു സമയത്താണ് വാങ്ങിന്റെ സ്റ്റോറി എൻ്റെ അടുത്ത് പറഞ്ഞത്. അപ്പൊ വാങ്ങിന്റെ സ്റ്റോറി ഞാൻ കേട്ട ഉടനെ തന്നെ ഐ തിങ്ക് എന്റെ മുഖഭാവം, എന്റെ ഹോൾ ബോഡി ലാംഗ്വേജ് തന്നെ മാറി. അപ്പൊ സാർ ലൈക്ക് എന്ത് പറ്റി? നമ്മൾ ലൈക്ക് അല്ല ഇത് ഭയങ്കര ഒരു കോൺസെപ്റ്റ് ആണല്ലോ സാർ. യു ലൈക്ക് ഐ വാസ് ഓസ്ട്രക്ക്. അത്ര ലൈക്ക് എനിക്ക് ഭയങ്കര ഇഷ്ടപ്പെട്ടു. ഐ തിങ്ക് ആൻഡ് സാറിന് അത് മനസ്സിലായി. അത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് ഞാൻ വേറൊരു സ്റ്റോറിയും കേൾക്കാൻ എനിക്ക് താല്പര്യം ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നില്ല. അതിനെ പറ്റി തന്നെ ഞാൻ ഓരോരോ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് ചോദിച്ചുകൊണ്ടിരുന്നു. ലൈക്ക് സാറിന് എന്താണ് ആ ഒരു തോട്ട് കൊണ്ടുവന്നത്, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ എങ്ങനെയായിരുന്നു ഈ ക്യാരക്ടർ ഇങ്ങനത്തെ ഒരു ഐഡിയ വന്നതും, എങ്ങനെയായിരുന്നു സാറിന്റെ ആ ഒരു എവല്യൂഷൻ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ആ ഒരു പ്രോസസ്, ആ ഒരു തോട്ടും ആ ഒരു സ്റ്റോറി സ്കെൽറ്റനിലേക്ക് എത്താനും അങ്ങനെ ചോദിച്ചുകൊണ്ടിരുന്നു. അപ്പൊ സാറിന് മനസ്സിലായി എനിക്ക് ഈ ഒരു സ്റ്റോറി എടുത്ത് എന്തോ ഒരു ഇൻട്രസ്റ്റ് ഉണ്ടെന്ന്. അപ്പൊ ഉണ്ണിയാർ സാറാണ് ഇൻഫാക്ട് എൻ്റെ അടുത്ത് ചോദിച്ചത് ദാറ്റ് ഇങ്ങനെ കാവ്യക്ക് ഇത്ര ഇൻട്രസ്റ്റ് ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഈ സബ്ജക്ട് ഇഷ്ടമായോ? ലൈക്ക് എനിക്ക് ഈ ഒരു സ്റ്റോറി ഭയങ്കര ഇഷ്ടമായി. അപ്പൊ സാറാണ് പറഞ്ഞത് കാവ്യക്ക് എന്തുകൊണ്ട് എന്നാ ഈ ഒരു സബ്ജക്ട് എടുത്തിട്ട് ഡയറക്ട് ചെയ്തുകൂടാ, ഒരു ഡയറക്ടോറിയൽ ഡെബ്യൂ ആയിട്ട് ചൂസ് ചെയ്തുകൂടാ. അപ്പൊ എപ്പോഴും എന്റെ മനസ്സിലുണ്ടായിരുന്നു ദാറ്റ് ഓക്കെ എനിക്ക് ഫിലിം മേക്കിംഗ് ചെയ്യണം, ഫിലിംസ് ചെയ്യണം. ബട്ട് അപ്പോഴും എന്റെ മനസ്സിൽ ഐ വാസ് ലൈക്ക് നോ, ഞാൻ റെഡി അല്ല, ലെറ്റ് മീ വെയിറ്റ് ഫോർ സം മോർ ടൈം. കുറച്ചുകൂടെ പ്രായം ലൈക്ക് കുറച്ചുകൂടെ ഒരു മെച്ചൂരിറ്റി ആയിട്ടും കുറച്ചുകൂടെ വയസ്സായിട്ടും മതി. യുനോ ഐ ഗോ ഓൺ ടു ഡയറക്ട് ലൈക്ക് മേ ബി ഒരു 30 കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ടൊക്കെ മതി ഒരു തിങ്കിങ് ഓഫ് മൈ ഫസ്റ്റ് ഡയറക്ടോറിയൽ ഡെബ്യൂ എന്ന് വിചാരിച്ചു. പക്ഷെ when he put that seed into my head, you know, I was like, not that I, more than the concept of me wanting to direct, it was like I want to do this story. Like if I don't do it, idnu naale vera arengalum ee story edukkum nu enikku ariyanu. So that the pure love of that story is what made me say yes. And then of course Unniyar sir was there throughout. Like പറഞ്ഞ എൻ്റെ ഒരു മെന്റർ വേണമെങ്കിലും ഇവിടെ പറയാം. He was there like baby steps മുതൽ to the biggest set, like to the biggest step of the film as well. So which is why every single thing I would always like consult with Unniyar sir or whatever. And he's been nothing but supportive. Like he would never come and say no അത് തെറ്റാണ്, ഇത് ചെയ്യാൻ പാടില്ല, അത് ചെയ്യാൻ പാടില്ല. He gave me complete freedom. അത് മാത്രമല്ല, you know, he gave me the chance to learn and grow because നമ്മൾ സ്ക്രിപ്റ്റിൽ തന്നെ ഓൾമോസ്റ്റ് we sat almost 1.5 വർഷം നമ്മൾ ഇരുന്നിട്ടുണ്ട് സ്ക്രിപ്റ്റിൽ തന്നെ. So each time when we were writing the script, he would come and so what the process was initially Shabnam and I would meet, and then she would tell me what she had in mind. Then I would tell her what feedback I had, and then we would kind of like bring it to a format that we kind of liked, and then we would present that to Unniyar sir, and then he would kind of like guide us saying no, what he felt was a little you know, not right for the zone, or whether we were in the right you know, frame of thought process for each scene. So that's how it happened. And I think we've written around 8 to 9 versions of the script itself when we started out. So by the time we reached the 10th script and all is when we started, you know, like I think by 6 or 7 itself, we knew that we wanted Tantana on board. We knew we wanted Anashwara on board. And we knew we wanted Vineet sir, and we knew we wanted Shabna as well. So that was kind of the process of how it kind of like transpired into. reality.
So it all evolved in the process. That's what I could know.
ഭയങ്കര ഒരു ഓർഗാനിക് ആയിട്ട് എല്ലാം ജസ്റ്റ് പറയില്ലേ റൈറ്റ് ടൈം വിത്ത് റൈറ്റ് പ്ലേസ് ആൻഡ് എന്തോ നിമിത്തം പോലെ എല്ലാം ജസ്റ്റ് വർക്ക്ഡ് ഔട്ട് ഭയങ്കര ലൈക്ക് ഏറ്റവും ഡെസ്റ്റിനി ആയിട്ട് കൺസിഡർ ചെയ്യുന്നപ്പോ ലൈക്ക് ഞാൻ അന്ന് തണ്ണീർമത്തൻ കാണുന്നതും ഐറോണിക്കലി അനശ്വര ഹാപ്പൻ ടു ബി ഷൂട്ടിംഗ് ഇൻ ബാംഗ്ലൂർ അത് പറയുമ്പോൾ സെയിം ഏരിയയിലൂടെ ലൈക്ക് കോറമംഗലയിലാണ് നമ്മൾ but she was shooting also in Koramangala. So ഭയങ്കര I think destiny had its own hand to play.
So Unniyar was is a story writer. Okay, അതിനുശേഷം Shabnam came and അതിന്റെ ഒരു പ്രോസസ് ഉണ്ട് ലൈക്ക് സ്ക്രിപ്റ്റിംഗ് വിൽ ബി ഒരു സ്റ്റോറി സ്ക്രിപ്റ്റിലേക്ക് വരുമ്പോൾ ഒരു ഫോം. Okay, then filming was done. So what was Unni's response after watching the film?
Unni sir actually Aditya first few days undayinathu set na I was very scared, so I kept telling sir that illa sir undavanam just that his presence there was very calming for me, like, and I was very particular. I didn't want Achan or anyone on set, so I wanted just like Unni sir was like ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ ഒരു father figure അല്ലെങ്കിൽ എൻ്റെ ഒരു guiding factor. So I was just by his presence, not that he would even like chalpo shooting, but he wouldn't even be there when we were there. He would maybe be somewhere else writing or something else. But just knowing the fact that he's somewhere around was something which was like inikku bhayangara oru mental relief and like you could say that it was bhayangara oru support factor that sir was there. But what happened is I think post which sir suddenly had to go to another set for work. Pradeep Ongorinde shoot was also happening, so he had to go for that. So I was very nervous but that was also very sweet. Sir pona mumbai he's like, see njan endengilum like he did give me that kind of like level of confidence before he left. And plus another bhayangara oru support factor varna inikku ende writer aayinu, like Shabnam enne nokkiyathu varna like her own sister thanne aayinu, like she would like literally pamper me and really like be there for me. Like we were supporting each other very well. I think there's this very beautiful chemistry that's formed when there are two women or when there are women working together on set. And nammude predominantly oru women thanne aayinu main cast and technicians ayalum ipo ende makeup artist male ayinengilum ende stylist Liji Preman was also female, but there were a presence of a lot of female factors on set. Appo Shabnam and I also managed to support each other, even though, like whatever be it, like if of course there might be sometimes creative creative arguments in England, but still we would put that aside and always be there for each other professionally and personally. And natralla Shabnath's family also, we were shooting in that area which she grew up, so her family was also very supportive, not just to me but to the entire crew itself. Like chalpo they would just make food for everyone and bring it on set. So there was a lot of love that we received during the time of shoot itself. So it never felt like oru pani cheyana oru joli cheyana. It felt very like like bhayangara loving community feeling in the field, because everyone avadthe locals ayalum, like you would think that we would get a lot of opposition, but it was just the opposite. Avadthe locals ayalum, they were so helpful. Nammalne set like locations kittanayengilum allengil ipo nammude padathil we didn't use extras, ellam actually ആ നാട്ടുകാർ തന്നെയാണ് അവിടുത്തെ എക്സ്ട്രാസും ഇതായിട്ട് അഭിനയിച്ചിരിക്കുന്നത്. സോ ദാറ്റ് വാസ് ഓൾസോ സോ സപ്പോർട്ടീവ്. ലൈക്ക് ഇപ്പൊ സ്റ്റുഡൻസ് ആയാലും കോളേജിലത്തെ സ്റ്റുഡൻസ് ആയാലും നമ്മൾ എക്സ്ട്രാസ് അല്ല കാസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്തത്, ആ കോളേജിലത്തെ ആക്ച്വൽ ഗോയിങ് സ്റ്റുഡൻസ് തന്നെയായിരുന്നു വന്നത്. സോ ഇറ്റ് വാസ് സോ നൈസ്. അവരൊക്കെ ഭയങ്കര സ്വീറ്റ് ആൻഡ് സപ്പോർട്ടീവ് ആയിരുന്നു. ഭയങ്കര ഓർഗാനിക് ആയ ഭയങ്കര ഒരു നൈസ് പ്രോസസ് ആയിരുന്നു ഡെഫിനറ്റ്ലി ടു ഷൂട്ട് ഡ്യൂറിങ് ദാറ്റ് ടൈം. എസ്പെഷ്യലി ലൈക്ക് ഇപ്പൊ നമ്മൾ സീക്വൻസ് നമ്മൾ ഒരു മുസ്ലിം പള്ളീന്റെ അടുത്ത് നമ്മൾ ഷൂട്ട് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. സോ അന്ന് എല്ലാവരും പറഞ്ഞു ഭയങ്കര റിസ്ക് ആണ്, പള്ളീന്റെ അടുത്താണ് ഷൂട്ടിങ്, ഇത് ഭയങ്കര ഇതാണ്. പക്ഷെ അതിന്റെ ഓപ്പോസിറ്റ് ആണ് നടന്നത്. ഇൻഫാക്ട് ആ പള്ളിത്തെ ആൾക്കാർ വാസ് സോ സപ്പോർട്ടീവ്. അവര് നമ്മളെ പേഴ്സണലി വന്ന് മീറ്റ് ചെയ്തു. അവർ പറഞ്ഞു നിങ്ങളുടെ പടം എന്തായാലും ഹിറ്റാവും, നിങ്ങൾ പള്ളീന്റെ ഉള്ളിലേക്ക് വരൂ, പ്രാർത്ഥിക്കൂ. സോ അത് ഭയങ്കര ഒരു എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ് ആയിരുന്നു. അപ്പൊ ഐ തിങ്ക് എന്റെ 4 പെൺകുട്ടികളും പിന്നെ ഷബ്നയും ഞാനും പിന്നെ ലിജിയും നമ്മളെല്ലാരും ഗേൾസ് പള്ളീന്റെ ഉള്ളിൽ പോയിട്ട് നമ്മൾ പ്രാർത്ഥിച്ചു. അവർ ആ പള്ളിത്തെ എന്താ പറയാ ബ്ലെസ്സിങ്സ് നമ്മൾ വാങ്ങിച്ചു അവിടുത്തെ പ്രീസ്റ്റിന്ന്. സോ ദാറ്റ് വാസ് ഓൾ ഭയങ്കര സപ്പോർട്ടീവ്. ലൈക്ക് നമ്മൾ ഒരിക്കലും പ്രതീക്ഷിക്കാത്ത ഒരു ഇൻസിഡൻസ് ആയിരുന്നു അത്. സോ ഓൾ ദോസ് ആർ ബ്യൂട്ടിഫുൾ മൊമെന്റ്സ് ഐ തിങ്ക് എന്റെ ലൈഫിൽ ഞാൻ ഒരിക്കലും മറക്കാത്തത്. ഐ തിങ്ക് അതൊരു ഭയങ്കര നമുക്ക് എല്ലാവർക്കും ശരിക്കും ഇഷ്ടമായത്. ബിക്കോസ് നമ്മൾ വേറെ മതത്തിൽ നിന്നായാലും ദൈവ അത്ര വെൽക്കമിങ്, അത്ര സ്നേഹത്തോടെ നമ്മളെ അവരുടെ മതത്തിന്റെ ഉള്ളിലേക്ക് വിളിച്ചതും പിന്നെ ആ ഒരു സമയത്ത് നമ്മൾക്ക് എല്ലാവർക്കും സ്വീറ്റ്സ് തന്നു പ്രാർത്ഥിച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട്. നമുക്ക് മാത്രമല്ല സെറ്റിലുള്ള എല്ലാവർക്കും സ്വീറ്റ്സ് കൊടുത്തു. ഭയങ്കര ലവിങ്, ഭയങ്കര ഒരു സപ്പോർട്ടീവ് ആയ ഒരു നാട്ടുകാരായിരുന്നു കേട്ടോ അവര്. പറയാതെ വയ്യ, പൊന്നിയൂർ കൊല്ലത്തിന്റെ ആ ഒരു ഭാഗമായിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു ഏരിയ ഭയങ്കര സപ്പോർട്ടീവ്, ഭയങ്കര സ്നേഹത്തോടെയാണ് നമ്മളെ എല്ലാവരെയും വെൽക്കം ചെയ്തത്. അവരുടെ ഓൺ സ്വന്തമായ ഒരു ഫാമിലി പോലെയാണ് നമ്മളെ എല്ലാവരെയും ട്രീറ്റ് ചെയ്തത്.
The film also speaks about the communal harmony, I think, at it, right?
Yeah, definitely. So it does talk about communal harmony as well. It talks about the beautiful side of Islam as well, which we've touched on a lot of things that are beautiful about the community itself. So we've also tried to say that despite all these cultural beliefs and, you know, religious ostracisms that are trying to like kind of bar people, we've tried to say that, you know, people look for against all of that and beyond all of that. And it's basically the love for humankind and mankind that bring them all together, and where there's genuine love and concern for each and everyone among everyone in that group itself.
So one part which was missed actually, we were talking about Unni's observations after watching the film. When
right. So Unni sir hadn't seen, like, so then when he finally came and so he got to, so the first time Unni sir and Shabnam saw it was after the first rough edit. So sir saw it and he really like, so as he was watching the film, Shabnam and I were like really nervous and we were like, oh my God, will he like it? And he kept like, you know, making some gestures. Yeah, okay, then. And like when you saw his face, we kind of thought that, you know, he's really angry, and I was like full prepared that, oh my God, he's not going to like it. But as soon as like the first offline was over, first thing he's like, oh my God, this is brilliant. And he fell in love. He's like, I think you've done complete justice to it, which is like the biggest form of praise എനിക്കും ഷബ്നത്തിനും കിട്ടാൻ പറ്റുന്നത്. Because നമുക്ക് രണ്ടുപേർക്കും ഏറ്റവും വലിയ ആഗ്രഹം is that ഇത്ര ഒരു beautiful ആയ ഒരു subject, because this is something which is world renowned, Unniyar sir, and like there are people who've called him from all over, and you know, who've like congratulated him for such a beautiful piece of prose. So we're very careful that, you know, we shouldn't take that magnificent, telling a beautiful object and destroy it. So when he said that, he was very happy. That was like the first relief. Then after which he saw his final ellam കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് screening ellam എന്താ പറയുക mixum എല്ലാം കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട്, when he finally saw it, he and Shabnam saw the film. They both loved it. In fact, I think when the final credits rolled out, Unni sir, which was so, despite Unni sir, he whistled and he stood up and he was like giving a standing ovation. So, and which was very like, it's not Unni sir's character at all to like, he's not someone who gives out praise very easily, and for him, like a man like him to be like standing up and whistling and, you know, clapping for it, like giving a standing ovation, that was like a very beautiful moment for me, for sure. That was something which I think is definitely heartfelt. Like it was a heartfelt moment for sure.
And now this sorry, yeah, just saying something.
So he loved it. And even in terms of now, like Namlipa festivals, like IFFK and we got through, and I told sir about it. He's like, yeah, like he's so enduring and so sweet and so supportive. He's like, like he's so confident. Like sometimes there are times even where, you know, you might second guess yourself because you've been so close to the project, but then still Unniyar sir is there just to, you know, like a voice of reason. He's like, no, why are you worried? It's such a beautiful film. You've done such a good job. Everyone loves it. Don't think twice. It's come out nice. Don't worry. So he's always there. That's, I think, one good thing that's, I think, come out of it.
So that was my next question anyway. Like it's selected for IFFK. How you you've been to festivals? You know, you have been a regular one to festivals.
I've always been quite active in the festival circuit. Not so much in the last maybe 1 or 2 years, but by that what I mean is like I've always been to film festivals my entire life, and Achin is always known for watching different kinds of films. So ipa Bangalore festivals I used to always be part of the festival. I used to be an MC regularly at the Bangalore Film Festival. Adupole IFFI we more or less we try and make it for IFFI every year. For last year IFFI no point I know. The year before that also I've been for IFFI. In fact, Bangalore shoot കഴിഞ്ഞ ഉടനെ തന്നെ ഞാൻ പോയത് ഗോവയ്ക്കായിരുന്നു IFFI വേണ്ടി. So I was there at IFFI for I think almost 3 to 4 days. So I've always been active, and even if I physically can't go, Pamami and TIFF Toronto Film Festival IFFK, even if I can't present like virtually or present, I'm going to physically present there, I make it a thing to make sure I've watched all the festival films. I follow for everything. Sundance Island, Busan Island, all international film festivals in the national festivals, whatever. Like I think one of the, like last year the Hillaru, the national award winning film. Even though I hadn't been to the festival, but I made sure that, I watched it at IFFK, and like I make sure that I watch the films that are really, present in the film circuit for sure.
So did you do any preparation for considering that, okay, ഈ film എനിക്ക് ഫെസ്റ്റിവലിന് അയക്കണം? So for that, did you do any preparation? Okay, ഈ ഫിലിമിന് എന്തെങ്കിലും രീതിയിലുള്ള cuts, or avoid something, or was there any such preparation that for it to be selected for the festivals?
അതൊരു ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്ന ഒരു മൈൻഡ് സെറ്റിൽ പറഞ്ഞ ഇത് ഈ ഫെസ്റ്റിവലിൽ കിട്ടണം, അതുകൊണ്ട് ഞാൻ ഇങ്ങനെ ചെയ്യാണ്, അങ്ങനെയല്ല. സോ ഇത് ഇത്ര കുറച്ചൊരു ടഫ് കണ്ടന്റ് തന്നെയാണ്, എസ്പെഷ്യലി ഒരു ഫസ്റ്റ് ടൈമറിന് ഇത്ര ഒരു സ്ട്രോങ് കണ്ടന്റ് ആയിട്ട് choosing to debut is actually quite thing, because I could have, considering that I have people like Achan has friends in the industry, and it would have been easier, like it would have been an easier path for me to choose something female oriented allatadum adupole to go to like big stars who I do have access to, because I've known them from like the time I was a young child, like whether it was Prithviraj sir, or whether it was Indrajit Etten, or whether it was Jayatan. All of them have seen me from the time, like you said, like I've always been around film sets. So ഞാൻ ചെറുപ്പം മുതലേ I've always gone. ചാക്കോച്ചൻ ആയാലും, I think Chakochun met me when I was barely in 3rd standard, 4th standard, and anne I was like very inquisitive of films. I don't know, there was something I felt that the story needed to be told, and honestly, like I've always എന്റെ മനസ്സിൽ എപ്പോഴും ഉണ്ടായത് that okay, ഞാൻ എപ്പോഴും ഒരു ഫസ്റ്റ് ടൈം എൻ്റെ ഒരു പടം ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ ഞാനൊരു കമേഴ്ഷ്യൽ പടമായിരിക്കും ചെയ്യണത്, ഒരു ടിപ്പിക്കൽ സ്റ്റോറി തന്നെ ആയിരിക്കും, ഒരു നല്ല ധൂംധാം മസാല കോമഡി ആയ ഒരു സബ്ജക്ട് തന്നെ വേണം തന്നെയാണ്. പക്ഷെ ഈ ഒരു സബ്ജക്റ്റിന്റെ ബ്യൂട്ടി കേട്ടപ്പോഴാണ് തോട്ട് ദാറ്റ് okay, this is definitely something I want to communicate. So അത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് then the prep work for it before leading up to the shoot was quite a lot. പറഞ്ഞ I think in a week I would watch at least ഒരു 20 to 25 Iranian പടങ്ങള്. I would make sure I was watching a lot of Jafar Panahi films or Majid Majidi films, and Adumatrala. Then I was watching a lot of other filmmakers as well, like a lot of Korean films. I was watching a lot of Japanese films. I was watching a lot of Vietnamese films. Aduvale in local languages, like Korea, Bengali films kandu. Satyajit Rayന്റെ കുറെ പടങ്ങൾ കണ്ടു. Then I was watching കുറെ മലയാളത്തിന്റെ തന്നെ കുറെ പഴയ ക്ലാസിക്സ് ലൈക്ക് ജോർജ് സാറിന്റെ എന്താ പറയുക യവനിക ഒക്കെ കുറെ I was watching a lot of these. Yeah, but for sure there was a lot of film watching involved. I think in a day minimum ഒരു 3-4 പടങ്ങളൊക്കെ എന്തായാലും കാണായിരുന്നു. And ചിലപ്പോൾ if I'm in the mood, then I would go up to, I think the maximum, I think ഒരു 5 പടങ്ങളൊക്കെ ഒരു ദിവസത്തെ കണ്ടിട്ടുണ്ട്. And അതുമാത്രല്ല, I started reading a lot also about the Islamic community. So I started, like I've always been into a lot of Sufi poets and Sufism is also a movement. That's something that's personally interested me as well a lot. So Adinata, I started reading more in depth, and I started gaining more knowledge about it. I started reading more about the community. I started reading more about Islamic traditions, Islamic faiths. Admatrala, I started researching locally. Like I went and I started meeting a lot of my Islamic friends. Adupole തന്നെ പഠം തുടങ്ങണം മുമ്പ്, because ഞാൻ born and brought up പറഞ്ഞ സത്യം പറഞ്ഞ ബാംഗ്ലൂരിൽ തന്നെയാണ് ജനിച്ചു വളർന്നത്. സോ ആ ഒരു ലോക്കൽ ഫ്ലേവർ പറഞ്ഞ ആ ഒരു ഒത്തന്റിസിറ്റി പറഞ്ഞ ഇപ്പൊ ഇൻ ടേംസ് ഓഫ് ഡിക്ഷൻ ആയാലും, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അവരുടെ ഓരോരോ ആചാരങ്ങളായാലും, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഓരോരോ ട്രഡീഷൻസ് ആയാലും, അത് പഠിക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി ഞാൻ സെവറൽ ടൈംസ് പൊന്നാനി പൊണിയോർക്കുളത്ത് പോയിട്ടുണ്ട്. ആൻഡ് ഐ സ്റ്റേഡ് വിത്ത് ദ കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റി ആൻഡ് കുറെ ദിവസം അവിടെ താമസിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. സോ അവിടെയൊക്കെയാണ് ഷബ്നത്തിന്റെ ഫാമിലി വാസ് വെരി ഹെൽപ്ഫുൾ. സോ ദേ യൂസ് ടു ടേക്ക് മീ അറൌണ്ട് ആൻഡ് പറഞ്ഞ അവരെന്നെ ട്രീറ്റ് ചെയ്തത് അവരുടെ ഓൺ കുടുംബത്തിന്റെ ഒരു മെമ്പർ പോലെ തന്നെയായിരുന്നു. അപ്പൊ അവരെന്നെ എവറി ഡേ ഓരോരോ സ്ഥലത്ത് കൊണ്ടുപോയിരിക്കും. ചിലപ്പോൾ ലോക്കൽ ഷോപ്പിലേക്ക് കൊണ്ടുപോകും, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ലോക്കൽ ഈ എന്താ പറയുക പ്രെയർ മീറ്റിംഗ്സിനെ കൊണ്ടുപോയിരിക്കും, ദർബാറിലേക്ക് കൊണ്ടുപോകാറുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. അങ്ങനെ കുറെ ഇൻസിഡൻസ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. അപ്പൊ അവിടുത്തെ ഓരോരോ സ്ഥലത്ത് പോകുമ്പോൾ ഓരോരോ ആൾക്കാരെ മീറ്റ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോഴും, വ്യക്തികളെ മീറ്റ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോഴും, അവരുടെ അടുത്ത് സംസാരിക്കുമ്പോഴും, അവരുടെ ബോഡി ലാംഗ്വേജ് ഒബ്സർവ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോഴും, അവരുടെ ഡയലക്ട് ശ്രദ്ധിക്കുമ്പോഴും, അതുപോലെ തന്നെ അവരുടെ ഓരോരോ ആചാരങ്ങളും അവരുടെ ട്രഡീഷൻസും അതൊക്കെ ശ്രദ്ധിക്കാറുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. അപ്പൊ അതൊക്കെ ഭയങ്കര ഹെൽപ്പ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. So there was a lot of prep work for the film. So at the per se ഒരു filmmaking point of view മാത്രമായിരുന്നു, just so that I'm prepared as a director, not for like okay ഈ ഫെസ്റ്റിവലിന് കിട്ടാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ടാണ് ഞാൻ ഇത് ചെയ്യണത്.
വികിപ് സാറിന്റെ അടുത്ത് ഞാൻ പലപ്പോഴും എന്റെ ഒരു ഒബ്സർവേഷൻ ആണ്. സോ വൺ ഈസ് ദാറ്റ് ഹി ഈസ് വെരി ഫോണ്ട് ഓഫ് ക്ലാസിക്, ഈവൻ ക്ലാസിക്സിനെ ബേസ് ചെയ്ത് ഫിലിം ഉണ്ടാക്കുക, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ബേസ്ഡ് ഓൺ ലിറ്ററേച്ചർ മേക്കിംഗ് ഫിലിംസ്. ആൻഡ് ദ അതർ പാർട്ട് ഈസ് അബൌട്ട് ഇമോഷൻസ്, ഹ്യൂമൻ ഇമോഷൻസ്. These two are the main things that I've noticed about Vicky Viswa films, as in what he likes to do. Of course, he has done a spectrum of different, series of films. So Similarly, Kavyada, you're comfortable with certain kind of films, or അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അങ്ങനെ എന്തെങ്കിലും തോന്നിയിട്ടുണ്ടോ?
No, one, because I don't think as a filmmaker I want to restrict myself to one particular genre. I like all spectrums of film. I love horror, I love thrillers, I love comedy, I love drama, I love Adhubalana. But I do have this thing that maybe I want to do films that are uniquely very different. There's a very unique concept. And the other subjects also what I've thought of has something unique which has never been done in Indian cinema before. So I'm a little particular that my content has to be very strong, that it is something that is different and that's never been tried or attempted before. So I'm quite particular in that context. And the other subjects is, one is a thriller, which is something which is about a spectrum that's never been done in Indian cinema before, and another subject's about a blind chef. So I want to do films which are a little different and which kind of leave an impact in people's minds. And also I do want to do films that do have a good message to convey. Now, my blind chef subject is also something that, even though it's an entertainer, it's a pure commercial film. It's got everything. It's got romance, it's got drama, it's got action, it's got love, it's got emotions, everything. But at the end of the day, there is a message to take back from the film. So I really would like to do films that kind of give a message to society, and where do my part, where I can do some good. Maybe I would like to do films like that, of course.
You have done from a story and kind of adaptation to a film version. Similarly, you have done a few advertisement films. Advertisement, as in the നമ്മൾ കേട്ടിട്ടുള്ളത്, within a short span of time you have to communicate the emotion or whatever you're trying to sell to. If you can do I don't know whether it is a good question whether to compare advertisement film and a filmmaking thing. But of course, if we compare say like an editor becoming a film director, expect him, or he can contribute a lot of things, like what happened.
Yeah, definitely. And I think the biggest living proof of that is Mahesh Attan.
Exactly. So similarly, did advertisement help you to make what kind of contribution did that help in making a film?
So advertising definitely and perks idundi. One, because advertising you work in atra strict deadlines. Chalpa oru 1 week you get the script and then you have to bring it to life and deliver it to the client. So working under pressure is one of the main things that I've learned with it. So etra pressure undayalum, like you've kind of like padikum to kind of stay calm and like to deal with that pressure, and you don't like crumble, or you don't succumb to that pressure. So that is one thing. But advertising where benefits under, like one of the things is you become technically very sound, because advertising you're always using one of the best equipment. You're working with the best of the best cameramen, or the best of the best DOPs, or the best of the best editors, or the best of the best music directors. So that also really kind of like brings into play. So I think that one part which really helped me is because I had advertising whatever experience, or the little experience that I did have itself, was very lucky, because one, I'm very sound in terms of like my technical side, whether the camera using in terms of lensing, in terms of lighting. I was able to tell my DOP, no, I want this lensing itself, I want a block. Like I can differentiate between the block lensing or a zoom lensing, or whether I want a tele, or whether I want tele and zoom are the same, but what kind of lensing, whether I want a block, or what kind of lighting I want, low lighting, like do I want ambient lighting. For certain scenes, of course, like to make it more authentic, we had shot with like ambient lighting. For certain scenes, I wanted it lit in certain way, so that the tonality of that film adds to the scene. So anganta kore advantages and I know. Then I know the basics of little basics of editing, so that was also helpful. Because I know the entire, and advertising is a lot of detailing in there. At least ender on case, like detailing helped me a lot. Now artilayalum etum cheriya prop pole, why is it coming there? I was very much involved. I think because of my advertising background, I was very particular. I want to know what is the thought process behind why is this little prop there in that scene. Or അതുപോലെ like എൻ്റെ കോസ്റ്റ്യൂമർ ആണെങ്കിലും, why is it that ഈ ക്യാരക്ടറിന് ഈ കോസ്റ്റ്യൂം കൊടുക്കണം, എന്തിനാണ് ഈ കളർ പാലറ്റ് കൊടുക്കണം, എന്തിനാണ് ഈ ഒരു സിറ്റുവേഷന് ഈ ഒരു മൂഡിന് എന്തിനാണ് ഇങ്ങനത്തെ ഒരു പ്രിന്റ്, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ എന്തിനാണ് ഈ ഒരു ടോൺ, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ എന്തിനാണ് ഈ ഒരു കളർ, why not a more subtle color. So അങ്ങനത്തെ detailing I was very much involved, and I think all this was helpful mainly because of my advertising background running la parayam. And also music. My music, so because music has a very huge role to play. So because of advertising, I was exposed to a lot of different kinds of music, different experimental music, different kind of like genres in music, for jazz island, blues island, scat island, hip hop or classical. So I have a huge array of spectrum of music that I listen to. So I think one of the first things that even Ausapachan sir was very impressed by is ഞാൻ ആദ്യം like we just he had just come on board the project, so we really didn't have a very good vibe at the time. It was more like a very like, oh, it's Ausapachan sir, someone I respect, and I've always been a fan of his work, and like I love the way he plays the violin. So I'm like the biggest fan of the way he plays his music and the way he creates beautiful masterpieces. So but even with him, like Nyan, music and music direct, like when we were going for the whole re-recording and for putting in the scores of the music and everything, but before that itself, നമ്മുടെ പാട്ടിന് വേണ്ടി മീറ്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. So to kind of like form, but you will not believe we formed 3 songs in just 3 days. It was that organic and that beautiful. And Aliyaroda Omina BV shows, I think like it's gotten a lot of views and it was trending and stuff and picked up during lockdown, and it's got over 1 million views as well, 2 million, 3 million views. I think it's gone up to 5 million views now. It's gotten a lot of love. But I think that was mainly because like he was so open to it. So Ausapachan sir did say that, yeah, get whatever you like. So I think he says that, the process with Dad and with me was entirely very different. So when I went on board to meet Ausapachan sir for the music, right, I went with a bunch of like reference music, and I was like, this is the kind of music I want for this song, and I was even able to tell him what kind of. So I created sort of like a mood board, like, okay, this is the kind of like a visual audio mood board, which is basically like a vision board which had like images of what was going to be that particular scene, and what was the kind of music, or what was the kind of background music, or what is the kind of lyrics that were going to be coming over there. So I think that also was because of my advertising background. So he was quite surprised. He's like, never have I met like a director who comes with, who's researched so much. And it was like a wide array of music that like for certain, like for like Aliya Romano BV, the influences were like Iranian music, Persian music, and there were some string instruments from Spain, and some string instruments from like that we had like, then there were like very authentic Arab like duduk and stuff, which are like very authentic Arab based instruments. And there were a lot of then for this other song, there was like an influence that we took of like Hans Zimmer and Beethoven and like classics, and like which is like the Pathos song, and which is my favorite song personally. Then for the title track, we had like another mind, which was more of like blues and jazz, which was coming in with scat. So it was a wide array, and then there was a bit of like pop and like an instrumental variation as well, and a little bit of dub smash references also given. So I think that detailing helped a lot. And kudos to Ausapachan sir to like kind of like make it into a beautiful amalgamation of all these references that he and I both like loved and picked and heard. So I think that way he was also very reciprocative. So this helped definitely. The advertising background definitely helped. I think the most in terms of like my technical background, the detailing and also the music. So that helped. Also in terms of
yeah, please go ahead.
Edit, because you're so used to like communicating emotions in like say 10 seconders. Like in advertising, there is a lot of times where you have 15 seconders or 10 seconders where you have to get the emotion, the concept, and the branding out in 10 seconds or 15 seconds. So that concise, so that that restraint that you have on the time factor, that helped in terms of editing the film as well. So how to make each scene more crisp, how to make it more entertaining, how to keep it hooking to the audience. I think that also really helped. And of course, I was working with a legend like Suresh sir, so I honestly didn't have to put in like too much feedback. But yeah, it was a nice process to sit together. Like we would start working at like 6 a.m. in the morning, and we would edit till like I think 7 or 8. So that was really nice as well.
Yeah, talking about that, I think we talked about casting and people who are working in the film, but I mean behind the scenes, yeah, of course, Ausapachan sir. So that is one of the questions which I had because all the songs were really beautiful. as in which people are waiting for to watch along with the film. But then, about the other people working there, like the cinematographer, editor. Could you please talk about people, the crew behind?
Yeah, sure. So, the first people who need to get due credit is both my producers, Sirajika and Shabirika. They're both like my own brothers. I was so lucky, Shabnam, and I like it was a long process. Like there were a lot of times other producers would come in and there were big banners coming in, and last minute they would back out because it was mainly a female subject, or it mainly had no male star cast as such, right? So the star cast value was like something that people realized that because it wasn't there that they would back out of, or maybe because the subject is a little they thought it would be controversial. So because of all of that, they did come to back, and it was a 2 years process where we would come so close and we would think and we would lose all hope, and that's when Sirajika and Shabirika came on board. Now the fact that they both themselves are from the Islamic community and they were so progressive and they were so nice to give it a thought and listen to it and then come on board. They were so nice about it and they didn't put their head into anything. Like other producers would be so demanding, like, oh, finish in this many days, or finish in this many days, or put her as cast. They were not at all troublesome at all. In fact, they were nothing but pure love and pure freedom. In fact, they would hardly even come on set to trouble us or whatever. And even when they do come on set, like Sirajika has even acted in the film. So even when he was there and set, like he was so loving. Like after he'd do a scene, like after all of that, he would just take all of us out to like and buy all of us food. Like Anushara and Shabnam and all enjoyed like, eating kore palaharangal and all. So he would just randomly buy them that, despite what was already their production food. So Anganaka, they were very loving and very supportive. Like I remember നമ്മൾ പാട്ട് അലയറുടെ ഓമന we shoot ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ my grandparents came on set to just visit, and ആ ഒരു സമയത്ത് Sirajika was also there, but I obviously didn't have the time to even look at my grandparents because I was so busy. It was a song sequence we were shooting. We shot it without a choreographer as well, so we were quite busy because of that. And ആ ഒരു സമയത്ത് തന്നെ it was so nice because like Sirajika was literally taking care of my grandparents like it was his own parents. He was taking them around. He personally took them out and about in his own car. അവർക്ക് സ്പെഷ്യൽ ആയിട്ട് ഫുഡ് കൊണ്ടുവന്നു because my granddad's vegetarian, so അവർക്ക് വേണ്ടി സ്പെഷ്യൽ ആയിട്ട് വെജിറ്റേറിയൻ ഫുഡ് കൊണ്ടുവരിക. Uncle, they were very supportive. Like there were moments where there were certain tough scenes, like I get emotionalized scenes, one which Meenakshi, which is Deepada character, did, and that was something she could connect to in real life as well, because as the movie goes along, you'll understand. So she was very upset. So that time when she was upset, Sirajika would, get her chocolates just to like cheer her up. So they were very supportive and they didn't put their head into anything that, oh, we want this cast done, I want this cast done. Nothing. Like, but as a first time director, I think the biggest blessing was to get such supportive producer. It was definitely worth the wait. Adamatrala, they made the effort. Like even though they got OTT offers, they're so supportive. They're like, no, this Shabnam Kaved first project alla. Namke the theater lana release. Even though if it would be like a little bit of a financial loss for them, they were ready to hold it out. Like a lot of producers were ready to give in and but they were ready to wait, and they had so much confidence in the film as well. They're like, no, we're sure this film is something that has to be seen and people are going to love it. We have complete faith in you. Like to just trust a newcomer so much and to have complete blind faith and to have so much of support and love from your producers is such a big thing. So that was the first two people who I think who need their due credit is definitely both of them. Shabnam, of course, I've spoken about. We had a very good rapport. I think we've been together also for a while now. It's been almost 2 to 3 years that we've been together working on the project. It's literally our baby. So we always say that Vaang is not Unnisa's film, it is our baby. So we keep like teasing Unnisa like that, just to, kind of like tell him how much it means to us, the film, playfully tease him. Unniyar sir, of course, because he was so nice to give me such a beautiful subject and to give it to me where he has not seen any of my work. He had not seen anything of what I'd previously done, but still to trust me and, I don't know what he saw, what he felt that, okay, there's something in this girl that, and when he gave me the project, I was quite young. I think we first started it out when I was just barely 26 years old. So to give such a beautiful craft to the hands of like a 26-year-old, I think the main credit has to go for him as well as, like a lot of other people like that. Where he thought that, okay, there's something in this girl, let alone who's ever done a film, to, give her that. Then when it comes to my technicians, now, the DOP is Major Ravi's son, Arjun Ravi. So Arjun and I have always been family friends, we're childhood friends. I've known him for a while, but we've only met on like rare occasions. So I'd never seen his work, and he had gotten in touch saying that he'd come back from New York and he started to do ads as well, and that's when he reached out to me and he's like, you should send me, like, we should try and work together. And somehow we never got to work together in terms of ad films. And then when we were looking for a cameraman for this film, that's when I thought that he would be a good option, and I show his work reel to Unisa and Shabnam, and even they really fell in love with his frames, and that's when he comes on board. Now, for music, I was very clear from start itself. I wanted Asif Bachchan sir because I've always been an ardent fan of his. For editing, also, we actually it was someone else who was doing the edit, and he was on board as well. And I was very excited to work with that particular person. But I think when the final footages reached him, I think his vision and my vision for the project weren't really matching as much. So then he was also very nice about it. He's like, I think if this is the vision and the conviction that you want, very nice about it. He was like, I don't think I would be the best person to kind of like bring it about. So maybe you should look for someone else. So that's when I thought, okay, maybe Suresh sir would be like the perfect person to do this. And I went up to him and I requested him, and Suresh sir was more than like happy to be part of the project. And his idea and my ideologies for the vision of the film were more or less very similar. So that's when he came on board, and it was such a relief to know that, okay, my music and my edit is sorted because I'm working with the best of the best technicians, and even my DOP is very good. So I was very, very sorted. In terms of costume and art, so I've worked with Liji and Bhavaka before. Bhavaka, I've worked tons on different projects, different ads. So I always knew, and I'd always told Bhavaka also, when I do my first film, I knew that I wanted him. Also because he was Islamic member himself, and also because he's from around that area, I knew that it would be easier for him to do the ad, to do the propping and also the sets and everything for the film, because he'd have his own level of experience, and not just that, his own level of knowledge and his own level of a lot of inside input to the film as well. And Bhavaka is very helpful in that way as well, because he was even part, there was times where we would narrate the story. So even before we went to shoot, we narrated the story to the entire crew. So we had Arjun there, we had the costumer, we had the art director. So it was very helpful, those sessions, because Bhavaka, because we were so close to the subject and we've been working on constantly, Bhavaka had his own inputs and he had his own suggestions where he was like, no, this is this. Because again, he being a member of the Islamic community and he having so much knowledge itself in film, so there was a certain level of contribution that came from Bhavaka's side, because he was someone from that community and he knew how people in that community would more or less their typical houses, and he knew the local flavor of that area. Liji was another purpose, a reason we put it, because she's from Payanur. So again, Payanur is an area which is full, Kannur, just full of Muslims. So she grew up around all her neighbors are Muslims, and I knew that she's got a lot of influence around her that is in the Islamic community itself. So which is another reason why I knew that I wanted Liji with me. And Liji is also someone who's one of my best friends, and we've always we started our careers together. So I always knew that if I'm ever going to do a film, it's always going to be Liji, and even if all my ads has also always been Liji. So she was definitely again another very easy choice. Yeah, I think so. Like that, all the technicians just came about very organically and just happened very nicely and very organically.
As a layman, I would think okay, we get certain model, it's selected for IFFK. So some of the reasons here only are some these are the things as a layman, as a common man, I would be thinking about. But after talking to you, I have lots of reasons why I should watch Wonka. But from a director's perspective, may I ask give me 5 reasons for a viewer to watch Wonka.
So one of the main reasons ഞാൻ പറയാം എല്ലാവരുടെ തിയേറ്ററിൽ തന്നെ പോയി വാങ്ങ കാണണം എന്തെന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ ഭയങ്കര ഒരു ഹാർട്ട് വാർമിംഗ് ആൻഡ് ഹാർട്ട് ടച്ചിങ് സബ്ജക്റ്റ് ആണ്. ഇത് കണ്ട there is something that you will leave the theater with some a feeling of warmth and happiness, and that's one factor. It's got a beautiful message to convey. So that could be maybe the second factor, that either story could have, we've tried to convey something that is relatable to everyone. So a beautiful and powerful message on it. So hopefully if it can inspire people out there, that was one of the biggest reasons that made Shabnam and I want to do this. That if this film is a source of inspiration for our oru cherry kutti pole agate allengil oru vayasaya oru muthushi aayikkotte, avarku oru sort of inspiration aanengil ee film, then that is definitely one of the reasons. there's something in it for everyone. It is complete, even though it's a content driven film. You'll all come out of the theater thinking that, oh, it's going to leave an impact on you. So I think that's another reason. One, it's a complete entertainment package. It's a family film. It's got comedy, it's got love, it's got romance, it's got a lot of things that the youth will love as well. It's got a lot of these youth moments. It's got at the same time family because it's something which is beautiful and nalla emotions portray. And another reason also is the songs of the film are very beautiful. They're going to make you definitely feel happy. When there's so much of negativity and so much of unsureness and unrest that's going around the world, I think Vaangu will be like a very good escape, a beautiful escape for people to come enjoy 2 hours. You will really feel refreshed. You will feel happy. You will feel positive when you leave the theater. You will come out feeling satisfied because it will start making you think in different ways for sure. Like, definitely there will be a thought process that will happen after the film that, okay, okay, maybe maybe I should think in a different way. So it might give you inspiration to look at new perspectives or open your mind to new flavors that you've not thought of before. So I think that would be the reasons I think Vaangu would be like a good watch. And wholeheartedly poi chirikam, kariyam, atra beautiful moments in the film. So I think it's a all in all package.
I have been talking about VK Prasad. Even if that person has not worked with VK Prasad, I used to talk about because that is a lot of inspiration. I have been, there is this Jolly Chetan in Kochi. He's a huge source of inspiration, and VK Prasad, as everyone who has interacted with him, he will definitely agree to that. As in, talk to him for 5 minutes and you'll be charged for a year. So
yeah.
How is VK Prasad at home?
He's more been like a friendly figure. Like, എനിക്ക് എപ്പോഴും ഓർമ്മയുണ്ട് ഞാൻ ക്രൈസ്റ്റിലാണ് പഠിച്ചത് പക്ഷെ അറ്റൻഡൻസ് ഒക്കെ ഭയങ്കര കമ്മിയായിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു ബിക്കോസ് എനിക്ക് ഹാഡ് ഫോളൻ സിക്ക് ആ ഒരു സമയത്ത് ക്രൈസ്റ്റ് പക്ഷെ ഭയങ്കര സ്ട്രിക്റ്റ് ആണ് 90% അറ്റൻഡൻസ് വേണം പക്ഷെ എന്റെ അറ്റൻഡൻസ് എന്തോ ഇറ്റ് സ്ലിപ്സ് ആ ഒരു വർഷം അച്ഛൻ വാസ് ദ വൺ ഹു കെയിം വിത്ത് മീ ടു മീറ്റ് ദ ഫാദർ ആൻഡ് ദ ഫാദർ വാസ് വെരി ആംഗ്രി ആൻഡ് ഹീസ് ലൈക്ക് ഹൗ ഇസ് ദിസ് ദാറ്റ് യുവർ ഡോട്ടേഴ്സ് ഗോട്ട് സച്ച് ലോ അറ്റൻഡൻസ് എങ്ങനെയാണ് കുട്ടികളെ റേസ് ചെയ്യുക ആസ് എ ഫാദർ ഫിഗർ ഡോണ്ട് യു തിങ്ക് യു ഷുഡ് ബി മോർ സ്ട്രിക്റ്റ് ആൻഡ് ടെൽ ഹർ തിങ് സോ അച്ഛൻ then asked the father what is her attendance may I know like she has only 89%. So Achan was someone who asked, 89 undo adu kollalo ende kattu nalla attendance undalla inikkaga 30 undayinnallo. So then the father threw me out and then was sitting and lecturing my dad. So he's someone who's been that like friendly. He's never been strict in terms of like studies or college or anything. He's always been the type who's only live each day to its maximum. Be happy, don't do any bad to anyone, don't harm anyone, spread love, spread positivity. That's the kind of person he's always been, and I've never seen him like a fatherly figure. He's more or less been, and I'm an only child, so with both my parents it's been more or less like a friendly vibe rather than a parental vibe from them. So it's always been that way. But Achan was never very keen on me getting into the industry. In fact, he didn't want that because he knew it's not an easy life. Like the long work hours, you don't have a good family life balance. You're working odd hours, you're working late hours, a lot of pressure from clients, a lot of pressure from other things, a lot of disappointments, but at the same time, a lot of highs, but the lows are really low. So he wasn't too keen on that for me. So, and I think also after my degree, I sort of didn't want to, I don't know why, maybe I could say I just wanted to experience corporate as well for a while. So I did work in the corporate space for around 3 to 4 years before I got into filmmaking. But even when I was doing corporate, I don't know, there was something about me just was not happy. It was very miserable. My personality itself changed. Usually someone was very vibrant and happy, but I was just very frustrated. So I wasn't able to figure out what it was because barely 20, 21 at that time. But at one point I was like, yeah, I can't do this anymore. This is not for me. I honestly don't care what is the statistics of something in this company. I really don't care. I just quit my job out of a whim. And then after I quit my job, I was a little lost for a while. I didn't know what to do. So it was just like sitting in my room doing nothing. I would just watch TV all day, watch shows all day. So that's something Dad never wanted. He never wanted me to just while away my time. So when he saw that, he's like, listen, that's not happening. You can't sit and enjoy life like this. You have to work. So that's when he's like, okay, you're at least come help out with the shoot. Now let's shoot and come help out. I was like, okay, why not? So yeah, but I've always like worked otherwise also. Like throughout college also, I was interning with like different production houses or different ad filmmakers or different agencies. I was like, okay, fine. I've more or less I am used to it, but why not? Not so. Anganana, I went and I started helping dad out for that film. But I didn't help either. I fell in love. Was so happy. Those 2 days was like one of the most happy moments of my life. I'm like in my adult life, professionally. So I was like, why the hell am I wasting my time doing something I'm not? Clearly, this is what I love, and this is what I'm. Even if it's not something I'm meant to be doing, I'd rather work 10 times harder in something that I love than doing something I'm not passionate about or I honestly don't care about. So that's when I came on board to Trends. So again, I didn't work under Achin. I was working under Mrudul Nair. So everything that I know about filmmaking is all thanks to him. He's been my guru in terms of technicality, and he would not treat me like the boss's daughter. I was treated the worst, like because he was very particular that I shouldn't have that jada of having the boss's daughter. So I was made to sweep floors, I was made to clean production sets, I was made to like work without he wouldn't even let us sit. It was that strict, but in a good way. Like, of course, I mean, once the shoot is over, he'd just be like a brother and like come and like take us out partying or whatever. But on set, he was very much like a strict figure, which is good, I think, and that also helped me a lot. So as an AD, we weren't even let to sit for even a second. Like, even if you would see us resting for a second, you'd be like, why are you all doing that? Run. So that's something that really, I think, very much shaped me. I think so that credit goes to Mrudul. But so when dad heard the news that, I want to do Wang and I want to become part of the industry. So he did kind of like sit me down and have this talk that, this is how it's going to be. It's not going to be easy. You're going to have a lot of highs. You're going to have a lot of lows. You have to be very careful of the way you're presenting yourself. You should be careful of what you're doing. You should make sure you're doing complete justice to the craft itself. And he did, I remember, put me on board to like a lot of cinemas as well. Like for like a lot of these Malayalam classics, like which I wouldn't know which films, like Padmarajan Sir Rayalam, Bharathan Sir Rayalam, K.V. George Sir Rayalam. He would be like my source to go to. He'd be like, no, watch this. So he's been that way very supportful. Like, he told me what films to. He did kind of expose me to a lot of these Malayalam classics, which I wasn't too very familiar with in the start. Like, I've always loved films, of course, I have seen them. But like, even more ahead of time, like the olden films, that's when he came in place and he'd be like, watch this, watch that. So that's been very helpful. And I think that was also very helpful in terms of like, like there were times where I would second guess myself because you're nervous and things. So that time I would call him up when I'm on set and he'd be like, no, that's okay, just prep yourself a little more, go back home today, sit with your team, work it out, don't think about it, don't think too much, just have a shower, feel fresh, and then think of a new perspective. So that way, yeah, he was very helpful. But I've never been comfortable with him on set though. Like, I've always preferred not having him around. So whether it was my first ad also, I think he came for a couple of hours and I was super nervous and I'm like, I think it's better you just leave. And then the same like with the films, I think he was on set for maybe a day or two and I was like, yeah, I think it's better you leave. So that was like interesting. But he's, of course, both my mom and dad have always been very supportive.
So after talking to you, Kavya, it's a continuation of what I'm talking to Vicky, because the kind of energy I'm getting, the kind of inspiration I'm getting, after talking further, because I want to stop this now, but then I know you have lots of other things to do. But it's like this full of energy. I would love to talk about your future projects, but then I think I'll wait and I'll request for another opportunity to talk to you because it's been
yeah,
long.
sure, anytime.
But definitely I'll come to you, and I'm very very keen to know about your future projects. And from my deep of my heart, I wish all the very best for Wanga. I'll watch it
Thank you so much.
and in the movie hall. Otherwise, also all the very best, Kavya.
It was nice talking to you as well.
Even I also had to some extent, okay, we send the mall. But then that picture got totally changed, and this is what I want to present to the audience also. As in, it's not like because that identity, the way you speak, your determination, the kind of research that you do, it's very inspiring. I think I'll come to you and assist in one of your projects.
Yes, please. I would love it, and maybe I would also assist you if you're ever going to do a project.
Thank you so much. To everyone at home.
Nice talking to you. Thank you. My love to everyone at home as well. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye.